You may want to keep a very close eye on your bank account right now in 2026 because some very unusual and unexpected bank account activity has been reported across the country. And things have also changed significantly since the very beginning of this year. And this is catching a lot of people completely off guard, which is exactly what I want to bring to your attention in this video. Especially if you are somebody who is living on a relatively low income or maybe a fixed income, like what I often talk about here on the channel. Like all of those benefits administered by the Social Security Administration, whether it's retirement benefits, SSDI, survivor benefits, spousal benefits, SSI, VA benefits, RRB benefits, or any of those well-known federal benefit programs. With what's going on right now and this very unusual and unexpected bank activity that's being reported, this could become a major situation and a very serious financial disruption for anybody who is living on a lower income or maybe even a fixed income benefit. I want to take some time and really walk through all of the details for you right here in this video. And I also do have an article right here that I'm going to pop up on the screen in just a second so you can see and read for yourself exactly what they're talking about. I'll pull out some of the key details within this. But as always, things are changing so much more rapidly and so much more frequently right now that I think we're kind of having a hard time keeping up with some of the major changes that are coming out one right after another. And again, like I said, this is catching people off guard because honestly, we've never really seen something quite like this before. But since the rules have changed and they've implemented some of these different changes out there within banking and bank accounts, this is something that is very, very new to a lot of people. And like I said, it could really, really disrupt and create a major financial situation and a real hardship for those people who are just trying to live their lives on a very small amount of money every single month. Anyway, let's pop this article up right here, right now. Feel free to read through the details on this yourself. But here's what's happening in plain terms. Banks are spontaneously freezing bank accounts. Now, there are a whole variety of reasons why this may be happening, but the short answer is this: suspicious activity. This is really what it all comes down to. Banks are focusing on mitigating risk and basically eliminating or stopping what they classify as suspicious activity within an account. So if somebody's activity within a bank account looks maybe a little bit different than what it usually looks like, or maybe there's an incoming wire that doesn't look right, or maybe there's an outgoing payment that seems unusual or out of character for that particular account holder, whatever the specific situation happens to be, these banks may step in and freeze a bank account for 10 days, 14 days, maybe even longer, until they are able to complete a full manual review of the account and the transactions. Banks use very sophisticated automated systems and a variety of different security measures to constantly oversee transactions and monitor activity within bank accounts around the clock. And they may automatically step in and freeze a bank account, freeze outgoing transactions, freeze incoming deposits, or freeze anything related to that account in order to again mitigate risk because of all the massive amounts of fraud that are happening right now across this country, and frankly across the world as well. The fraud situation in this country is really at an all-time high right now, and that's not an exaggeration. And what banks do with a flagged account is they come in and have a human being actually sit down and review the full situation. They go through and manually review the transactions one by one. They review any outgoing wires or incoming wires. Whatever it happens to be, large lump sum payments that are going in or going out, they may be monitoring all of this very, very closely right now. And because of some of the rules that have changed as of the beginning of the new year, these banks may not need to be as worried about customers potentially coming in and suing them or taking legal action against them because of this kind of account activity. The rules have now changed in a way where banks can come in and they can freeze these accounts. And yes, even do so somewhat indiscriminately in some cases, to make sure that somebody is not basically getting taken advantage of and having that money transferred out by a fraudster, or maybe a scammer coming in and convincing that person to wire $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000 or even $100,000 or some other very large and devastating amount of money out of their life savings. So what these banks are doing is they are essentially just trying to do this to safeguard basically all of us, not just people in a particular income bracket, not just lower income or fixed income beneficiaries specifically, but virtually everybody who has a bank account. Now, here's where it gets really important for this community specifically, so pay close attention to this part. The reality behind this is that the majority of the people that they are really scrutinizing and that they're really watching closely are seniors. Yeah, exactly. Seniors. Seniors are right at the top of the list of the individuals that banks are scrutinizing in a very major way right now. And I'm just going to say it directly, even if it may not be the most popular thing to say. Seniors are typically those individuals who are most frequently targeted and focused on by scammers and fraudsters, because the mentality is, and the general reputation is, that a lot of times seniors typically have money. Now, I know that's not the case for everybody. I want to be really clear about that. That is absolutely not the case for a huge number of seniors in this country who are genuinely living paycheck to paycheck, or in this case, benefit payment to benefit payment every single month. But the reputation among seniors as a group is that they typically have quite a bit of money sitting somewhere. Maybe in a savings account, maybe in a 401k or an IRA, maybe in a pension, maybe in a brokerage account or investment account, whatever it may be. And that reputation is what these bad actors are operating on. Now, at a minimum, whether somebody is a senior and has a whole bunch of money sitting in the bank or not, scammers and fraudsters also understand very well that a lot of seniors also have recurring, predictable sources of income coming into their bank account every single month. Things like a pension, annuity payments, Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI payments, SSI payments, VA benefits, RRB benefits, survivor benefits, spousal benefits. These are consistent, recurring monthly deposits that hit accounts on very predictable schedules. The fraudsters know this. They understand these payment schedules better than you might think. So they know that these individuals have these recurring sources of income that hit their accounts every single month like clockwork. Well, guess what these scammers then try to do? They try to come in and intercept that money. They try to take that money right out of the account at the very moment it's coming in, or as close to that timing as they possibly can. So the point being is that we've been seeing this unusual and alarming activity where banks may come in and they may freeze accounts because they see what their automated systems determine to be suspicious activity. They freeze the account. And then here is the real problem, the part that actually impacts the account holder in a major way. The person who owns the account, the person who has all that money there, the person who has done absolutely nothing wrong, may suddenly not have access to their own money at all for quite a while during the freeze period. And what does that actually mean in real life? Let me spell it out because it's important. What that means is that no bills are being paid during that time. Rent isn't being paid. Utilities aren't being paid. The mortgage isn't getting paid. Medical bills may not be getting paid. Prescription medications may not be getting picked up because there's no money accessible on the debit card. The person may not have access to their debit card at all. They may not be able to pay a credit card bill, which could result in a late fee, a penalty, or a mark on their credit report. All because of something that is completely outside of their control. And that could be an absolutely major and devastating financial situation for somebody who is just trying to live their day-to-day life, doing absolutely nothing wrong, and the bank is the one stepping in, trying to protect them, because they spotted some weird or suspicious activity on the account. And instead of protecting them, the freeze itself is creating a hardship. The bank comes in, they freeze the account for some unspecified and uncertain amount of time. And again, it could be a couple of days in the best case scenario. It could be a couple of weeks, or it could potentially be even longer, depending on how complex the review turns out to be. All of this is simply because we are currently seeing an absolutely enormous and unprecedented amount of fraud across the entire financial system right now. The numbers are staggering, and so many people are losing truly enormous amounts of money to these scams. I can't even tell you how many stories I personally read every single week when I'm doing my research for this channel. It's a lot. It is genuinely a shocking number. I'm not even sure the general public really fully appreciates how widespread and how damaging this fraud problem actually is right now. Stories like a senior loses $600,000 in a scam. A senior loses $1.5 million to a romance scam or a tech support scam or some other type of fraud. A senior loses $50,000, which is maybe everything they had saved over decades of working, and it's just gone. Completely gone. Because of one phone call, one email, one text message, one moment of trusting the wrong person. It's heartbreaking. It really, truly is. And banks obviously are stepping in and trying to do absolutely anything and everything that they possibly can right now to safeguard those individuals before the money walks out the door and is gone forever. Now, I want to be very clear about this. It's not just seniors that banks are focusing on and scrutinizing, but seniors are absolutely one of the major groups that are at the center of this heightened level of attention and monitoring. Simply because, like I said earlier, seniors as a group happen to be some of the most frequently targeted individuals by fraudsters and scammers, specifically because of that reputation. That most seniors have money, that they have bank accounts with savings in them, that they have consistent monthly deposits of benefit income coming in every single month. If they don't have a lot of money in savings, and that is the very real and very difficult reality for a significant number of people in this country, they at least have a lot of times those ongoing, recurring monthly deposits coming in. Whether that's pensions, annuities, Social Security retirement, SSDI, SSI, VA benefits, RRB benefits, survivor benefits, spousal benefits, interest-bearing savings accounts, investment accounts, brokerage accounts, CDs, money market accounts, whatever it happens to be, scammers are trying to get access to all of it. They want all of it. And they're getting increasingly sophisticated and increasingly creative in the methods they're using to try to get it. It truly is a nasty and incredibly unfortunate situation that we're all living in right now. And unfortunately, and I really do hate to say this, it is probably only going to get worse going forward with the rapid implementation and advancement of artificial intelligence, voice cloning technology, deepfake video and images, and just how incredibly sophisticated these tools are already getting. It may honestly only get worse from here, which is a really deeply sad and frustrating situation. Because I'm not sure about you, but it seems like everywhere you turn these days, absolutely everything is a potential scam. Is it just me that feels that way, or does it genuinely seem like everything is some kind of scam now? It's just getting to be absolutely ridiculous. Everything, I get an email that looks perfectly legitimate and I don't trust it. I get a phone call and I don't pick up because I'm not sure if it's real. I get a text message and I look at it sideways. I get some random notification or pop-up or communication of any kind, and my first instinct is suspicion. And I know that's a pretty unfortunate way to have to live and navigate day to day, but that's genuinely where we're at right now in 2026. So here are a few things that I want you to keep in mind going forward to protect yourself as much as you possibly can. First, be very careful about any unexpected phone calls, text messages, or emails from someone claiming to be from your bank, from the Social Security Administration, from the IRS, from Medicare, from any government agency, or from any financial institution. These are very, very common scam entry points, and the fraudsters are extremely good at making these communications look and sound completely legitimate. Second, never wire money, never send gift cards, and never make any large financial transaction based solely on a phone call or an email request, even if that person sounds completely legitimate and seems to know a lot of personal information about you. Third, if your bank account does get frozen, contact your bank immediately through the official phone number printed on the back of your debit card or on your bank statement, not a number someone gave you or that appeared in a text message. Fourth, consider setting up account alerts through your bank so that you are notified in real time via text or email anytime there is a transaction on your account, anytime your balance drops below a certain threshold, or anytime there is any unusual activity flagged. These kinds of alerts can be incredibly helpful in catching problems early. And fifth, please talk to your family members and the people you trust most about all of this. Share this information with the seniors in your life, with your parents, with your grandparents, with your neighbors. Because as I said, awareness and information are truly the first and best lines of defense against all of this fraud. Please protect yourself to all degrees if you possibly can. I just want to do what I can to point this stuff out for you and let you know what is going on out there. It is a very, very different time that we're living in right now. This is not the 1990s anymore. This is not the 1980s anymore. This is 2026, and things are getting very, very elaborate and very, very sophisticated with what these bad actors are now capable of doing and how they're doing it. Anyway, I just want to do everything I possibly can to help you stay informed and stay protected. Now, if you happen to be somebody who is already enrolled in Medicare, or if you need to enroll in Medicare, if you're turning 65 and need to figure out what your options are, if you hate your current plan, if you feel like your plan does not properly cover you, if you feel like you're paying way too much in premiums every month, if you feel like your prescriptions are not covered or not covered well enough, if you can't see your own doctor, can't go to your preferred office or clinic or hospital system, or whatever the situation happens to be, if you are not happy with your Medicare plan for any reason, please grab your Medicare card, grab your phone, and call Chapter right there at that number on your screen. About 10,000 plus of you in this community alone have called them just in the last year. A couple thousand of you so far this year have already called them just in the past few months. And collectively, the people in this community are saving over $2 million, yes, $2 million, just by calling that free phone number and getting free Medicare help. You can see the evidence for yourself. Free Medicare help, completely free of charge. Just those of you in this community collectively saving over $2 million just in the last 1 year alone. Over $2 million. Over 10,000 of you in the last year have called them. Over 2,000 of you this year have called them so far, just by calling that number and getting free Medicare help. It's absolutely amazing, and I am genuinely blown away every time I look at those numbers. Again, I have pages and pages and pages of comments right here. I'll flip through them super fast as I'm talking for just a minute. These are just the comments I pulled out of the comment section just in the last, call it 2 months or so, give or take a little bit. Pages and pages and pages of comments from people in this community saving a boatload of money. The average person is saving over $1,000 by literally just calling the phone number that you see there on the screen and getting free help with their Medicare. Again, over $1,000 in average savings just from making one phone call. Amazing stuff. And again, these are not even all the pages of comments I have. These are just some of them. I still have pages I haven't even added to my stack yet. Anyway, if you're on Medicare, if you need to enroll in Medicare, if you have any questions or concerns about any of the details of Medicare, please call Chapter and see what they can do for you. My secret little goal by the end of this year is to help those of you in this community collectively save $10 million. Yes, $10 million. That is supposed to be in your pocket and in your bank account, not in the pockets of the insurance providers. Anyway, give them a call. Again, it's free. 100% completely free. After you talk to them, drop a comment down below and let me know how it went. I'll add your comment to my stack here and feature it in upcoming videos. Just make sure to use the keyword Chapter within your comment. That's the keyword that I search for to find these comments. I'll grab it, I'll add it to my stack, and I'll feature it in upcoming videos. Otherwise, please consider subscribing. Big subscribe button right down below. Please share this video with somebody that you know because honestly, this is the kind of information that people really need to hear right now. Big share button down below as well. Otherwise, until next time, have a nice day, take care of yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one.